Good evening, listeners. Welcome to this evening's Property Focus program brought to you by Horizon Properties, your local expert with a global reach, member of the leading listed company of the world. Greetings from the team. The board, management and staff of Horizon Properties would like to convey our heartfelt condolences to the nation, the clients and customers on the passing on of our former head of sales, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa, who passed on to Africa, and we pray that we remain under one Zambia, one nation, as we know. This evening we'll continue with our topical issue of conversion of traditional land to state tenure. But before that, I would like to tackle the issue of investment, because land and property investment, you cannot separate them. I would like I'll be highlighting on the topic of investing in your own house. It's important to note that a house, even your family house, is an investment asset. When you buy a house somewhere and it is to be used as the main house or main home or principal residence, however, we intend to use it as an investment or a financial asset, in that you stay in it until the market picks up, at which time you will sell and move to another place. So you build a house, or you have bought a house as an investment asset or a financial asset that you intend to sell in the future when the prices have picked up and you get a return on it. Note that the primary consideration to do that should always be an investment potential rather than a cozy house. There's a tendency that a family house cannot be sold. A family house can be sold as an investment. However, there are a lot of considerations that need to be made, because there are advantages and disadvantages. In an event that you have not made your calculations properly, you may end up you and your family on the street. I'll give you two advantages. You are likely to make careful decisions relating to maintenance, and its value may be enhanced to the property, because you own it and it's yours. It's a home. You tend to take care of it. Exceptionally, that you maintain it, but in the long run, the value is enhanced. Number two, because it's your own house, it's a principal residence, you fairly choose a location that's most likely be a hotspot in the near future for you to have the return or capital gain or the appreciation in value of the property to get a benefit of it. There are also disadvantages. Firstly, number one, you may be in danger of entering into a nomadic lifestyle, where you're constantly buying with an eye in the future profit, rather than looking for a nice place for you and your family, because you keep on moving. Number two, the attitude of moving set into a motion of rootless, temporary type of living, because you're just temporary, you're just moving. That is also it's a negative perception that you have no permanent place where you are living. Because for you to invest and have a peace of mind, you need to be stable. Number three, it is expensive to keep on moving, because you incur costs in terms of estate agency to look for you a new property, You purchase furniture because maybe the house you are in was taking bigger types of furniture than where you're going. The furniture is not compatible to where you're going. And in addition, your transport logistics to move your property from one place to another. Number 4, there is also a temptation to innovate your house and spend more by improving on the standards that you will cope when you sell. Because you have got that sentiment, you have that passion for your house, you might end up spending more in innovations, and when it comes to the selling, the market, you will not cope the what you have spent. So this is how some of the advantages of using your own house as an investment asset. Yes, so we are on the topic of conversion. The procedure involved in converting traditional land to state land. First and foremost, last week or the other week, I shared to you that conversion of traditional land to state land is backed by law and is illegal to convert as a process. So we are looking at the process now. The first process, you must be a resident of that place, of that village. So in this case, number 1, village entry. At this stage, since most of you who have acquired, who have been given traditional land, you don't live there. Therefore, the village headman must register you in the village register. That process is called village entry. At this point, they get to know you, your full names, occupation, next of kin. They are entered in the village book at a fee. I indicated we have got 2 dual land administration systems. We have the traditional land administration system and the state land. So what we're talking about now, right now, is it's a combination, because we'll be moving from traditional administration, land administration, to the state land. So your names, occupation, next of kin are entered into the village book by the headman. It is at this initial stage the commission to engage a registered surveyor to ascertain the size of the land granted is authorized, is given. When you are given the land, they have to ascertain that the land is available, and therefore the traditional administration must give you authority to bring a registered surveyor to ascertain the extent. Stage number 2, the state I'm giving you, these are the practical stages on the ground. And these are the stages you must follow. Number 2, visit to the chief. Once the survey is done with the verification of the extent, and you, the new settler, you are satisfied with the extent of the land that has been given to you. Now, the parties, that is you and the headman, submit a site plan for endorsement at the palace, mind you, at a fee. This stage is very important because it's only the chief that can authorize the conversion of traditional tenure to state tenure. At this stage, the chief writes a letter to the council for recommendation to start the process of obtaining title. Without being acknowledged by the chief, your land will never be converted to state land. Number 3, now the chief has recommended you to the council, to the local authority, recommended for the conversion of the land, piece of land you have to state tenure. This is where the piece of plan, recommendation letter, and the ID of you, the new settler there, are submitted to the council at a fee, awaiting interview. Awaiting interviews. Number 3. Number 3. Upon receipt of the application for title for conversion, the council officials communicate a date for interviews and inspection. Inspection on the ground of the availability of that land, and also to make sure there are no encroachments. On the day of inspection, the new settler should ensure that he presents 2 or 3 neighbors for confirmation of ownership. This is to avoid encroachments and conflicts on the ground. Once inspection is done, the council official then writes a letter of recommendation. That is, after the council meeting, they will write a letter of recommendation to the provincial authority. This is now the simplistic way of explaining to you the process you should take. Number 5, the planning authority. That is, if the council is the planning authority, the office in charge of approving proposed subdivisions, for numbering and submission to the use of lands. Next week, I will take you into the documentary requirements, the forms that you need to fill in associated to these stages I've just mentioned. So we'll continue to examine what is important in this process. The process might take a bit long, but it's doable and it's manageable. There's a tendency where a number of people lose patience because they expect the time to come out there and then. This is a conversion from one land administrative system to another one. So patience is very paramount as required. So next week we'll continue to look at this process. And if there are any questions or if you may not understand, you can send us the query for answers on info@thehorizonproperties.com.
Horizon Properties, the real property merchants, offers proficient, time-tested real estate services to all property buyers and sellers. Are you selling or letting? Looking to buy?
are buying plots affordably is the aspect of construction. No. We have made it very clear, even those contractors that are on site, you realize that people that are building there, they are actually embracing what we call incremental construction, where people are just being quoted per phase. Okay, so if you want to maybe start with the foundation, your constructor should be able to quote you for that particular stage. When you have enough resources, you come back and continue. That is what we're advocating for as Horizon Properties, or as the main developer of that project. Why? Because we believe that people should be given access to affordable and comfortable living. So that is one of the lifestyle that we're advocating for. Another one, of course, we are alive to the fact that we're advocating for a community setup, okay? But not just a community, but a secured community setup. What we mean, is that we have controlled access to the gated community. Okay, you cannot just walk in or drive in and drive out. We have controlled access to this because we understand that people should live in an area which has a maximum security and security for their families. So this is the kind of lifestyle that we're advocating for. So when you buy into the gated community, you are buying in a more secure place or environment that is ideal for your family, that is ideal for yourself, and that is ideal for maybe even your extended family, if at all you are keeping other people. So this is an ideal place. That is the kind of lifestyle that we're advocating on. Another point that I would like to mention is that the lifestyle that we're advocating going further is modern infrastructure and sustainability as well. So when you come to the Green Village, you realize that we have planned for different amenities within the gated community. Why? Because we want people to live as they are living in this modern society of ours. They should be able to have access, easy access to different commodities, different services within their convenience. Okay, so if you talk of the mall, more has been planned for. Okay, so if you are going to buy into this gated community, you are assured that you are going to have a mall within that space where you can just maybe simply walk, maybe 10 minutes, you are back. Why? Because we want you to experience that modern living that people are experiencing anywhere. Okay, and I would like to share this with you, that there are people that when they are listening to us on radio, they think as if like it's just a way of marketing. But when they reach on the site, they realize that these things that we mentioned, they have been properly planned for, and we have actually indicated where these amenities will be. So if you are buying a plot, maybe near the mall, you can actually even estimate how many minutes you can actually walk from your house to the mall, or maybe from your house to the hospital, from your house to the schools. These have been planned for because we understand that people are living in this area because they need to have easy access to these things. So these things have been planned for. On the aspect of sustainability, like I mentioned, we have adopted a biodigester sewer system, which is more sustainable, which does not contaminate the environment, and which does not compromise the environment in any way, like the usual septic tanks that we are used to. Okay, so when you come to the Green Village, you are assured that you are going to buy into this vision and be able to connect a biodigester to your house. Okay, because a biodigester is designed in such a way that the end product is actually biogas, which you can use as an alternative for your energy. Another aspect of sustainability as well is water. We have actually made it very clear, that if you buy into the Green Village, you are not drilling a bore. What we have done is we have come up with our own independent water education system, which you can simply just connect and take water to your respective plot. And also advocating for other sources of energy, of course. We do have electricity within the site, but we advocate for other sources of energy like solar, and we are glad that people have actually taken it upon themselves, more especially those that have actually bought into the Green Village. They are now buying solar geysers, they have installed solar panels. Why? Because we understand that as we move forward, like we're just experiencing the drought that we're coming from, we have this issue of load shedding, okay? But we understand that it shouldn't be just load shedding. we should be actually be alert that the effects of climate change will always be there. So we need to have alternative sources of energy, and that is what we're advocating for in the Green Village, because we understand that these things are very important and people should actually adopt them. I think another point that I would just like to close this part of the lifestyle that we're advocating for is just the future. I think the Green Village is future oriented. We actually advocate for quality structures. No, we do not just, of course, we do not restrict people to what we want. People actually do their drawings, they bring to Horizon Properties, we look at them, we verify them, and also continue to inspect. What kind of structures are people building? Are they quality structures that will be there for a test of time? Because we are developing a community for the future generation. So that is very key for us as Horizon Properties. And under this point, we can also look at the planning that we've done, okay? Because we have clearly planned for each and everything, the drainage system, amenities, roads, and other things, because we understand these are critical issues that will always be there. And if you don't have a proper plan for a gated community like the Green Village, you are likely to compromise it, and it may not be there for a test of time. So the planning aspect has been done to a point where we believe that that community will live there and people will be there and other generations will come and benefit from what we're doing today on. So that is the lifestyle that we're advocating for. And you also asked, who is the ideal resident for this development? I think we've always mentioned, that the Green Village has an appeal of the upper class that we cannot take away from it. When you go to the Green Village, you realize that it is well maintained, it is well thought out, it is well planned, and when you just reach the site, you realize that maybe this site is meant for those that are within the upper class. But I think the affordability aspect that I mentioned earlier makes this gated community unique from other gated communities, because that entails us that it caters different classes of people, okay? Ranging from young professionals that are just joining the corporate world, and we have always mentioned that we have got actually corporate packages for those that are joining the corporate world, because we understand that the Green Village is an ideal place for them. So if those corporate institutions that have their employees that would be interested to actually buy into the gated community like the Green Village, this is the time, because they can take advantage of the corporate packages that we have. We can sign an MOU with them, and they can give that opportunity to their employees to have land within the Green Village. So the young professionals are actually ideal people that can buy into this gated community. Away from the young professionals, we have got middle income families. Okay, we have got families that would now be thinking about the security of their families. They think of the environment which they want to bring up their families or their kids. The Green Village gives them that opportunity for them to bring up their families with the values that they would want to inculcate in their children. Another group of people that I would mention is the diaspora, Zambians. Okay, because this concept of gated communities in developed countries is what is thriving. So Zambians that are in the diaspora, they have got an idea and they know how good gated communities are. So the Green Village is an ideal place for those. Retirees, looking at the location of the Green Village, it's a bit on the outskirts of town, it is quiet, and someone would like to just build a retirement home there and they can live there. It is an ideal place for them. Generally, I would like to say average working class Zambians, they can afford to buy into the Green Village because it is an ideal place for them.
Okay. Now, let's look at...
We're going to have different play parks and green parks just dotted around the complex. We planned for those because we understand that people that have started living in the gated community, in as much as it is a big community, we understand that there will be similarities in terms of the lifestyle that they adopt, okay? Because of the elements that we have always mentioned. We've talked about people embracing sustainability, people actually developing certain values and principles that would make them responsible to take care of that gated community. So we understand that different kids as well will be playing together in these spaces that we have actually reserved. As a result, there will be that aspect of people nurturing their kids in a manner that they would want, because obviously these people will be meeting. Okay, when they go to different play parks, different kids are there, different families are there, and they'll be able to associate and be able to know, to say, this is the kind of lifestyle that we're living here. So this also is a plus for those that are looking forward to starting an environment which would impact their kids. And maybe last I would mention of the game ranch. The game ranch is a plus as well, because we're like trying to bridge the gap in terms of modernity as well as the nature aspect. So people will have an opportunity to actually coexist with nature. Okay, you can just leave your house, no, you go to the game ranch, watch different animals there, and be able to just have a feel of the environment. So that is a plus as well.
All right, thanks so much, Derek. You just tuned in, you're listening to Property Focus, but you can see Horizon Properties. Let's take a short break.
Did you know that Lusaka is among the fastest growing cities in South Africa? Did you know city expansion is Nasdaq City, which presents opportunities to brokers and the country? Did you know that Horizon Properties has been diligently selling?
Hi, my name is Jerry Tato, the sales project officer for Horizon Properties. We're coming to you from our Kablonga office, which is located along the Chido, just by Old Kablonga Shopping Center at shop number 8. Remember, Horizon Properties only has 3 offices within Lusaka. We have our head office in Woodlands, just along the same road which is Chido Road, just right opposite Woodlands A Primary School. We also have offices within town, just on the alley behind the Saka Hotel. Are you a client that you have come across a property that someone told you to say this property is being sold by Horizon Property, yet you are taken to a different location? We're here to confirm that if either you come to our Kablonga offices, which is around Chido Road at Old Kablonga Shopping Center.
Focus, but you can see Horizon Properties. Let me see if we can try and bring in Adrian as well as Tanda as well. Now, when we talk about property, obviously, people may be thinking, does Horizon Properties cater to both low and high income buyers? And how do you ensure that no one is left out in the dream of property ownership? But also, in line with that, could you give us a snapshot of some of the most exciting residential plots, farms, or even housing options that are currently available through Horizon Properties?
Okay, I think it's also important to just mention to say currently we understand the property market better than any other person right now. Why I would say so is because we interact with the market every day through different agents that of course strive to save our dear clients each and every day. And by so doing, we've earned the trust. We've not earned this trust, of course, through maybe connections here and there. But of course, it's about doing what is right and serving the Zambian market diligently for the past 23 years. And in saying so, and in understanding, of course, the market, you realize to say most of our products do not just cater for a certain class of people, or maybe just a specific audience. In most times when we put out the project, or maybe product to the market, even when you go there, you realize to say people who are buying, there are those that can afford to buy cash, others would come if it's close to buy off, let's say maybe 4 or 5 plots to merge them and do those. And then we also have those that want to come and buy that single plot and pay it in installments. So we're not just affordable, but we're also flexible in terms of payment plans. This speaks to the fact that we're not limiting the clients to say, no, here when you come, you can only pay yes or no. In certain times, others would come through because they can't meet certain thresholds of what they need to pay for them to, of course, get that offer later. we've allowed certain people to come through, commit, and then come back when they have the money to actually get to complete that initial payment and then get on that particular payment plan until they get the particular plot. Because the idea is that each and every Zambian should be able to afford at least affordable and decent housing, like Derek said. So when you look at the many products, I know that I have a lot to say about this, but I would just hint on, let's say maybe just 2 examples I would give. In terms of residential plots on the raw end, you find that we have 50 by 50 plots in Ntubeko for only 25,000 kwacha. So this is the 50 by 50 plot which is on title, very accessible, and it's a good plot. Why am I saying it's a good plot? It has a lot of value and potential for growth. In most times, we don't just get land for the sake of getting land. We get land in areas which have potential for growth. In areas whereby if you buy the plots today and you want to sell it, let's say maybe in a year's time or so, you won't be selling it at that actual price, or you won't be selling it for lower the price, even for better calculation. So we look at all those, of course, we weigh those options as we get to this particular lands for sale. So if 50 by 50 is Ntubeko for only 25,000 kwacha, on title is what you get on the low end. And then let's go on the high end. I know a lot of people have driven Coffee Road. You would see that as you pass the toll gate, we have very beautiful land on the left, which has a very big billboard with our colors and our names and everything, nicely branded and nice words written on it, commercial land and all that. So that's 72 acres of commercial land right on Coffee Road. So I would place it on the high end. 72 acres of land on title, which you can do a lot of things with. If you want to put up a school, it's available for you. You want to put up a hotel, it's available for you. You want to put up, you can then make a hospital, anything commercial, anything that you want, you can do with that land. The price is only 20 million kwacha. For those that would want to invest, for those that of course have the dreams which fit that particular piece of land which we have on Coffee Road. So we're not just restricted to a particular class of people, but we make sure to say from the low end to the high end, everyone else is catered for. I know for the mid range and everything else, that I'll be able to actually shed more light and give options where he feels people of course can jump on one or two things.
You know, there I was actually watching Mr. Adrian talking, and then he said 22 million kwacha and attached a just to it. You know, to a layman or person who's not conversant with property, they would look at that and go like, whoa, that's a lot of money, and how do you just attach a just to it? You see, one, you need to consider the elements around this property. This is a property that is for commercial use, and you could use it for multi-purposes, in the sense that for the very same portion of land, you could use it, you could segment it and use it in various ways. So again, he talked about having a medical facility or a hospital. You could do that. Running a school, you could also do that. Segment the land as you please. And it having the element or the appeal of being roadfront, meaning starting right along Coffee Road and proceeding inwards and covering an amount of space of 72 acres. That makes it really, really a profound property. And then also,
and maybe just on that,
I would also dare say, let me just scope this last point. I would also dare say, look, segment the land, or rather apportion it. We are talking about 72 acres, and now saying an acre going at only 275,000 kwacha. 275,000 kwacha for an acre now,
right on
which,
the road.
yes, which is then building up to the 20 million kwacha. And sorry for this, we are not cutting the land into smaller portions, no, it is going as a whole. So for those people that are looking to build schools or any other commercial, say, usage that they think it is suitable for, please do contact us.
Even those for warehouses. Yeah,
I would say so, yes.
Truck parks, all those.
Yes.
Looking for space where to park your trucks, that land presents that opportunity that you need. You want to do warehouses, just call me on 0777002756. And on that one, I will tell you, I take you on the ground and show you the land, and definitely get to close.
And of course, stick but not don't have a headman or anything. This is titled land. So your plug is already, of course, my coordinator, Mr. Mewe Adrian. His number has been, of course, shared. So Mr. Bill was talking about the various properties that rather us catering to the high end, mid-range, and of course the lower end. He's talked about us having, of course, payment plans pertaining to us being flexible, and beyond that also he talked about, or rather touched on the issue of that our prices are very competitive on the market, very, very competitive. So meaning, again, we do cater to the lower class, because as I've got at known in Chabenai, whatnot, we put properties that cater towards that also. He gave an example, of course, of the 20 million 72 acres that we have along Kafue Road, only a few kilometers from the Shimabala toll gate. That's the one that, of course, is saying 20 million kwacha. We also have the 5 acres that he was talking about in Situmbeko, which are going at only 50,000 kwacha. In Situmbeko, 5 acres at 50,000 kwacha. Now, this gives you a margin of who we are catering to. Kulibati, I know we just want people in this tax bracket. No, we want to cater to everybody. That's how Kamtima Kambat, we want every Zambian to own more than just the NRC. But no, Nine Nikona, my papers are showing ownership of this property and whatnot. And of course, he also touched on the all-encompassing portfolio, meaning not only do we have a price range, but we've got different areas. Of course, area, when we're talking property, we're talking location. So again, this has got a notion of pricing also. We've got a very huge portfolio that caters to everybody and anybody. You want property in Leopards Hill, we have it for you. You want it in Silverest, we have it for you. You want it Kuma Great North, as my coordinator has got a famous saying, which I do not like. So Kwamene Kujafuti, Kuma Great North, we have for you. We have it on all directions of the campus. We have property for you, catering to all men and everybody else. So what we also have now, zoning in onto the residential side, we have in Salama Park 32 by 20 plots. Again, Salama Park is an Ijat Creme de la Creme. What would be a more professional word to use?
That's it, the prime area.
Prime area, thank you. No, I shouldn't have pushed it a little further. So Salama Park is, of course, for the affluent. I was looking for that word. Affluent. It's an affluent area, of course, and we know usually you find in Salama Park to my 18 by 20 and whatnot. No, we come here now with bigger, or rather standard plot sizes of 32 by 20 in Salama Park, right along the road, going at only 750,000 kwacha. In Salama Park, we have 32 by 20 titled plots going at 750,000 kwacha right along the tarred road. And again, we only have 4 portions, so these are flying. Contact me on 0977 800 203, and we shall certainly schedule that site viewing. I'll give you more details if you feel right over WhatsApp, via phone call. I'll give you all the details that you need, and we can obviously schedule that site viewing so you have a physical appreciation of this. Again, as mentioned, again in Shimabala we have something else in Shimabala. This is a 5 acres now. From the toll gate, it is only 3.8 kilometers on Kafue Road, and then off Kafue Road by 2.5 kilometers, going at 875,000 kwacha only. Single title, meaning not at no parent title, whatnot, no. It's in single title, everything is clean. Get to us, we shall take you to view, and you have a physical appreciation again, and then we talk business. So in Shimabala we have a 5 acres that is 3.8 kilometers from the toll gate and 2.5 kilometers off Kafue Road, going at only 875,000 kwacha only. Leopards Hill Road front. This is our Leopards Hill Road front site where we have 30 by 30 plot. We only have one 30 by 30 plot actually remaining on this site. It is right along the road, going for 500,000 kwacha. This is about 150 meters before Kaingo Rocks, or preferably, in case you know Cross Park better, we're 5.5 kilometers from Cross Park, and we have along Leopards Hill Road a 30 by 30 plot going at 500,000 kwacha only. And again, on this very site, 150 meters before Kaingo Rocks, 5.5 kilometers after, of course, proceeding on from Cross Park on Leopards Hill Road, we have 20 by 30s going at 250,000 kwacha. This is a very tranquil place. The vegetation is maintained, nature is intact. You get to appreciate this site, and it is fenced in game wire through and through. So again, it is a very, very secure site. We have the 20 by 30s going at 250,000 kwacha,
130 by 30 plot, literally along the Leopards Hill Road itself, going at 500,000 kwacha. And then again, we move on to Lilai. In Lilai, we have, of course, this is now off Kasama Road. This is the G-Greens area. Right up at the point of G-Greens, you turn to the left and move 600 meters. Of this 600 meters, 300 is on tarred road and 300 is gravel road. We have 45 by 25 plots going at only 550,000 kwacha. 550,000 kwacha gives you, or rather gets you, a 45 by 25 title plot on individual title of Kasama Road, literally at G-Greens Point. You turn to the left, move 600 meters, you get a 45 by 25 plot on individual title at 550,000 kwacha. This is a very, very beautiful site. I suggest people jump on this because this is suitable again for your loan house, meaning Wamangabe nyumba yako, or for building apartments, because as you know, Lilai has got a very, very good appeal for tenancy, or rather rental property, so to say. It is very easy for you to get a tenant, very easy for you to retain a tenant if, of course, your structure is sound and appealing. And beyond that also, for when your tenant is leaving, it is very, very easy for you to catch another tenant. So Lilai has that appeal. We strongly suggest you get to schedule a viewing appointment for all these properties that we've mentioned, and especially this one also. The number to contact is 0977 800 203. That is 0977 800 203, and I shall be more than glad to take you on site. Another Lilai site that we have this time around, it's off Lilai Road, around Shaft 5 area. You turn to the right shortly after, of course, Petroda filling station, 400 meters on a gravel road. This is now, of course, 400 meters from Lilai Road. We have 20 by 30 plots, which are on title going at 385,000 kwacha only. Again, the same advantages as the last Lilai site. All advantages are here also. Amenities are very, very close. This is a secure place also, as it is fenced and has a gate to it also. The other thing that I would like to bring on, which is not new on this segment, in the sense that my colleague Mr. Derek Katongo just brought it up, or was giving all the details pertaining to this property, which is the Green Village project. I would like to, of course, just mention the sizes and the respective prices, just so we remind the people that that were listening in, and of course conjure up the interest of those that just tuned in. So what we have in the Green Village project, which is of course in Silverest Extension, 1 kilometer after the Chongwe Tollgate and 2.5 kilometers off the Greatest Road. We have a gated community with respective plot sizes of 22.5 by 20, which is going at only 120,000 kwacha. 22.5 by 20 going at only 120,000 kwacha. And we have 30 by 30 plots which are going at only 228,000 kwacha. Again, payment plans are in order. Cash payment does, of course, attract a substantial discount. Call my number, we get in talks, we get you to view, you have an appreciation of the site, and of course we close in on that. My number again is 0977 800 203. And for those people that have properties and are looking, of course, to dispose of these properties or at least rent out, contact me on the very same number and I shall be more than happy to assist you.
All right, thanks so much, Tanya. Now, Adrian, obviously, as we're about to close our conversation this evening, what channels can people use to explore Horizon Properties listings? And is it possible to buy, inquire online, or even visit in person? And we also know that Horizon Properties obviously has served thousands of Zambians. What feedback do you often receive from your clients that continue to drive your growth?
Okay, so in brief, I would say, it is the feedback that, of course, that we get from our clients that helps us improve our services every day. And if the feedback wasn't coming either good or bad, we would be so comfortable and think to say everything that we do is right and we didn't need to improve. But because of the feedback that comes in all the time, either from people who deal with us, for those, even those that may not have dealt with us, but we may have heard one or two things, that is what helps us improve, and that is what pushes us actually to refine our services That is what actually pushes us to go for those trainings that you see on our Facebook pages, pictures posted, maybe at times in suits, at times somewhere else, in just trying to see how do we actually get to meet these demands or the needs of these clients that, of course, have so much expectation from us. And then I know a number of people, of course, yes, radio, but want to know, like you said, how do they actually get to deal with us? We have active Facebook accounts, which is the main page being Horizon Properties Limited, where when you see a property on that particular Facebook page, you can simply click on the page and write a message as in the comment section. And definitely someone will respond and take note of that particular inquiry. Of course, they'll ask you for your number. Or the easiest is simply go to our inbox, send us a number there, and of course, someone pick up the phone and call you so that they can actually get exactly what you mean. So you can check out Horizon Properties Limited and do that. Or you can simply check out on our page, which is Horizon Properties Limited. On each and every post, there's a number highlighted in blue. Simply click over that number and it will take you to the WhatsApp number of that particular person that you are trying to talk to on that particular property. And they will definitely respond at any time, because the page, people would have the perception of saying, no, even if I inbox them now, you'll have to take them up to tomorrow for you to. No, won't do that. The moment you click on the WhatsApp link, which is on the page, someone will definitely respond, even if it's between 3 hours. They will return your message. Even on the page at times, we're able to respond even at night. Late nights, we will definitely respond to that inquiry. And first thing in the morning, someone will get in touch with you. We have an active website, which is www.thehorizonproperties.com. Check us there. The number of properties which are posted. Click on the spaces where you need to fill in the particulars. Send us that email. You just simply go to that particular agent that you need to talk to on that particular property on our website. And definitely, once you inquire, there's someone who's not in Zambia. Someone must be available in Zambia to actually look at the particular property for you, and we get to transact. So it is possible actually to inquire online and actually get to transact on that particular property that you so much want. If not, please come to our Kablonga office, which is shop number 8, right on Chindo Road. Or simply walk to our Woodlands office, which is right opposite Woodlands A Primary School. Or simply visit us in town on the alley behind Osaka Hotel. You will see Horizon Properties offices. So we are available, and like I said, for everything discussed on the show, or everything that you want to learn about property, the best you can do is send us an email to info@thehorizonproperties.com. Or if you can't do that, if someone who doesn't have an email, which I doubt, or someone who's not conversant with these issues on my email, at least Facebook chat. Go to Horizon Properties Limited on Facebook and simply send us that message, and we will attend to everything that you need and help you buy property.
All right. Gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you so much for coming through. It was also a pleasure to host you guys from Horizon Properties.
Always a pleasure being here, Mr. Zaza.
Okay. There you have it. That's it for today's episode of Property Focus. Be sure to catch us next week on Tuesday, just after 18:30, right here on Hot FM. Do stay tuned.
Just around Chido.
That's how you